Crypto gaming has been down bad, agents. There's just no way to sugarcoat it. Since 2017, I saw a vision for what the combination of crypto and gaming could be, but most developers have just served us up some watered down versions of our crypto gaming dreams. What happened to NFT utility in games? What about interoperable NFT assets? Where's my true item ownership? While most of these teams just focused on playing earned schemes and useless NFTs, there are some teams that still see this true vision of utility and interoperability. In my latest Intel report, I take a look at Valannia, an ecosystem of interconnected fantasy-themed games that feature MOBA, RTS, strategy, and MMO elements where you can get a free NFT that actually has utility and can be used across multiple games. It's mission time! Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here. We are at GIA headquarters, the gaming intelligence agency, always bringing you the latest intel on the newest games. RPGs have always been one of my favorite styles of games, so I keep an eye on any MMO or RPG that's building in crypto. Valannia has been on the outskirts of my radar for a little while, but with their upcoming free mint and launch of their token, it's time I got you agents all the intel on this one, so I partnered up with them for this sponsored review. At its core, Valannia is an ecosystem of 3 connected games that are all currently in different stages of development. Valannia Realms is a strategy-based idle RPG that you can play right now in your browser. The next title that we'll be releasing very soon is Valannia Arena, which combines MOBA elements with real-time strategy elements. Then we have Valannia World, which is the full MMO, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most here. All 3 games are built on Solana, so that's where you'll find their free NFT mint that happens on November 4th, as well as their TGE for the VALEN Token. As I said in the intro, this team understands how important the utility and the interoperability are for any gaming NFT, and that's why any hero NFT you own can be used across every one of their games, all 3 of them. So the concept of having one character to rule them all has always been one that I loved. We already see this concept with games like Fortnite, where you can use your same character in Battle Royale and Fortnite Lego and Fortnite Festival. Like, sure, they work and look a bit different, it's your same character used in different ways across multiple games. Interoperability between a studio's in-house games just makes sense, and I can't wait till game devs figure out the true power of the interoperable NFT. So remember that free mint that I mentioned earlier? Well, that's your ticket to play the game right now. The Risen Heroes mint starts November 4th on Magic Eden and is open to everyone, but only if you're one of the lucky ones with the fastest fingers in the West! That's because there are only 6,000 Risen Heroes, and they're going to go fast because you can mint up to 5 per wallet. I suggest being there right as public mint goes live for the best chance to get one of these. Now, this isn't their first NFT sale. They previously sold OG Hero NFTs that you can currently purchase on their marketplace, and just like the original NFTs, the new Risen Hero NFTs can come in one of 8 different races from the game, which include Human, Faerun, Purith, Glorb, Tixin, Larathi, Xanthari, and Altari. They're all very unique in look, abilities, and gameplay styles that they unlock. I picked up an OG hero named Sir Castane as I wanted to try out Valannia Realms before this review, but the cool thing is that owning an OG hero NFT gives me guaranteed mint access for a Risen Hero. You can also get a guaranteed mint if you were a Beyond Hero holder or a Top 100 ShadowVeil champion, which I'll talk more about later on. I was talking up utility for NFTs a lot earlier, and the Risen Heroes have an upgradable utility that is pretty cool and unlocks more and more of the game as you progress. Take your Risen Hero from Shattered to Soul and finally to Risen status to unlock all areas of the game with no level caps and unlimited progression. Now you have access to dungeons, crafting, professions, trade, exploration, all for a free NFT mint. It's not bad, right? There are also 3 rarity tiers for heroes where you can land silver, gold, or the coveted Eonite rarity, which have completely different visuals and functions. Right now, you can only use these NFTs in the one game they currently have launched, which is Valannia Realms. This idle strategy game is pretty basic in its current form, but it lets you explore the world, send your heroes into dungeons to level up and earn some loot, craft weapons, armor, and more. You can even stake your claim on the map with your own castle and create a guild to dominate the lands of Elderoth and beyond. While it's a good start, I am more into an active style game that I can sink my teeth into for hours, and I think that Valannia Arena and World will be more my speed when they release. Valannia Arena is a mashup of both MOBA and RTS elements that has kind of a competitive LoL vibe to it, right? You get to use your hero NFT here as well, which has been given unique abilities and allows you to build an army with units like infantry, range, mages, cavalry, tanks, all that stuff, right? The race of your hero determines the playstyle, so keep that in mind when the game launches, because right now, each wallet is specifically linked to just one hero and one race only. This game is in closed alpha right now, so there is a demo floating around somewhere out there, which means we should probably see launch pretty soon, but no concrete details on a date just yet, agents. Okay, Stash, patience on this next one, because while all I really want to do is play the full Valannia MMO, it's probably going to be a while until we see this one come out. From early whips, the game is looking really good so far. I get a bit of Baldur's Gate feeling from the look of the MMO, which is of course holding it to an incredibly high standard. But if Valannia can pull off even a fraction of what made BG3 so good, then I think it's worth getting a free NFT for a possibly bright future here. Now, shifting gears back to the blockchain side of things, I wanted to give you a bit more detail on their upcoming token generation event for the VALEN token. First, I want to say I've really come to appreciate teams that don't do a token sale until they have their game live, and Valannia has at least done that. Now, second, I feel like many of these tokens don't really end up having much utility in their game, but Valannia has some unique elements to their token that I wanted to point out. Yes, it's used for things in game like upgrades and repairs, crafting, exchanges, the election of race leaders, and you also get DAO participation. But one of the things that stood out to me in their tokenomics is their Bitcoin treasury called the Valannia Eternal Treasury. That's right, Bitcoin treasury. It's crazy. This treasury functions as a long-term growth vault. They're progressively accumulating BTC and SOL, so it's not just Bitcoin, but it's both BTC and SOL, by using 5% of the net income from the game, right? So they're using these funds and they're going to convert them and they store them in a wallet that's controlled by Valannia with the purpose of building a solid and transparent economic reserve. But they're also giving 20% of this treasury back to token stakers and landholders every 12 months. And this is not in their native token, the VALEN token, which you would normally see this situation be, but it's an actual Bitcoin and Solana. It's pretty cool, right? Now, one last piece of intel I want to share with you is they actually have a gamified airdrop going on right now too. They call it ShadowVeil, and it's a collection of in-game and social quests you can do to earn runes of ascension. Right? These correlate to how much airdrop you can get. And you know, honestly, competition is not very high right now. So if you can knock out some of these quests, you have a good chance of getting a decent airdrop. Okay, sure, airdrops are great, but the lore and story of any fantasy game is pretty important. Valannia shows that off a bit in their latest cinematic trailer, which gives you a little glimpse of where they're headed as an entire ecosystem of interconnected games. Now, which race you end up minting could determine your entire fate in the world of Valannia, and I think that if they can bring in more story elements that interweave between all the different games, it will make which here you get a pivotal point to your experience, which I think is pretty kind of cool. These concepts of interoperability and utility were what always excited me about crypto gaming, and if Valannia can deliver on their MMO, it will give them a good foundation for success. Right? MMOs are hard to build and even harder to execute and balance over time. So the team really needs to nail everything along the way to be successful with this one. Right now, Realms is just enough to keep people interested over time while Arena is being built, but that window can close pretty quickly, so the team needs to deliver as soon as possible on their vision to have a true winner on their hands here. So what do you think about Valannia, agents? Will you be minting their free NFT? How about jumping into Realms and hitting a dungeon or two? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but that's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out. Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.